You know, people ask me what's my favorite film, I always say my next one, because I don't go back, you know. The joy for me is the process of making it. The training that I had, that's the way we were trained. To play any part, there's no such thing as you can't play a part. You may not be right for a particular part, but I don't think there's a part I can't attempt to play. I can at least analyze and try to break down and put a performance together. It may not be any good, but I was taught, that sticks in my mind, was a gentleman by the name of Bill Ball, who was the artistic director of the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. And he always talked about failing big. He said, if you're gonna fail, fail big. And I'm like, I like that. I'm not a fall back mentality kind of person. People would say, well, you know, you better have another career to fall back on. I'm like, I don't wanna fall back on anything. If I fall, I wanna fall forward. I never understood that mentality.
I didn't either.
I never understood it. I'm like, I'm going that way. But I got a small play, a one-act play about two guys, one named Malcolm and the other named Elijah. I was even saying Elijah, big role. And that really jump-started my career again, because the play went over very well. We did it down at the New Federal Theater, Henry Street Settlement. And that led, I went right from that play to a Soldier's Play, off Broadway, and right from a Soldier's Play to St. Elsewhere.
How to Find Yourself Again with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington believes if you're going to fail, fail big. He also believes that an audience of a movie will get what they bring to a movie. Everyone brings different experiences, such as in life. Find your inner voice and listen to yourself in the morning as you start your day. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes of meditation time to gather your thoughts and anchor yourself for the day. You can control and dictate your day when you are focused and grounded.
You know, the thing about great writing, August Wilson, Eugene O'Neill, you name it, Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, there's so many layers. It's not just one thing. It's open to interpretation. You know, people ask me, what do I want them to get from the film? I say, well, it depends upon what they bring to it. So what you see in Troy or feel about Troy has to do with your own life and standards and all of it. Oh, I didn't get the job because of that. Maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe, like his wife says, you were just too old. She says, why don't you just admit it? You were too old. He's the one that's hung up on, the right word is not is, and that's not the only problem. That's one of the problems. Now, you can make it the only one if you'd like, but it's not the only one. But that's a fact. They couldn't play basketball in the NBA. Well, their grandfathers couldn't walk on the sidewalk, or they were slaves. So each generation is trying to do better for the next generation. That's what Rose could see by wanting her son to get an education. What Troy couldn't see, for him, his son doing better was him getting his son a job at the sanitation department. For his wife, the son doing better was getting a good education and going to college. When I was in college, up the street, the first two major acting roles I played were the two main actors of Robeson's career. Eugene O'Neill's The Emperor Jones, that's the first play I ever did. I played the lead. And then Othello. When I did Othello, there was an English teacher there by the name of Bob Stone, who came out of retirement to play Brabantio, which is Desdemona's father. Well, Bob Stone was in Othello with Paul Robeson. He was very instrumental and complimentary, and he's a very large part of the reason that I'm here now, just the guidance and sort of shoring me up and giving me confidence in my ability. At that young age, he saw something in me and he expressed it, gave me the fuel. It's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I feel a responsibility as a human being. This role model is tossed around, who's the role model, who's the hero, who's the genius, it's semantics. I mean, what are you doing for others? What have you done for someone today? Most important person in my life. 40 years of sacrifice, 40 years of forgiveness. She taught me about faith, spirituality, love, real love, unwavering love. In spite of myself, I would not be alive without Pauletta Washington. I wouldn't be alive. Discuss other people, gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. I was Eleanor Roosevelt. I was also Pauletta's father, my father-in-law. He was a great man. He taught me so much about what being a man really is. I want to end the night with a short video that we recorded of Pauletta's father 30 years ago that my son, Malcolm, gave me, an AFI graduate. In this Twitter tweet meme world that we've created for our children, the least we can do is consider what we've done and think about the young people, the future, and individually, collectively do the best we can to try and turn this thing around. I blame no one. I look in the mirror. On the other side of it, what an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content.